Malaysia was never supposed to become one of Asia's economic success stories. It doesn't have the world's largest population. It doesn't dominate global headlines like China or Japan. Yet somehow, this nation of about 35 million people has quietly built one of Southeast Asia's most diversified economies. The question isn't whether Malaysia is growing. The real question is why so many people outside Asia still haven't noticed. If you're watching from Malaysia, I have a small challenge for you. Every time I talk about Malaysia, someone says the world only sees the Petronas Towers and misses everything else. I think we can change that. Type Malaysia Boleh in the comments if you believe more people should know the real story behind Malaysia's success. Every comment helps this story reach someone who's never looked beyond the headlines. Assalamualaikum. When people think about successful economies, they often picture skyscrapers, billion-dollar companies, or stock markets. Malaysia certainly has impressive skylines. The Petronas Twin Towers remain one of the world's most recognizable landmarks, while Merdeka 118 now stands nearly 679 meters tall, making it one of the tallest buildings on Earth. But skyscrapers don't create successful economies. People do. And this is where Malaysia becomes fascinating. Less than 7 decades after independence in 1957, Malaysia has transformed itself from an economy heavily dependent on raw materials into one of the world's leading manufacturing and export hubs. Here's something many people don't realize. Malaysia is among the world's major exporters of semiconductor-related products. Chips and electronic components manufactured here are used in everything from smartphones and laptops to cars and industrial equipment. Think about that for a second. The device you're watching this video on may contain components that pass through a Malaysian factory. But here's the crazy part. Most visitors never see this side of Malaysia. They arrive for the food. They admire the skyline. They visit Penang or Langkawi. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, advanced manufacturing plants, logistics centers, and technology parks are quietly helping power the global economy. Take a drive along the North-South Expressway. Stretching for more than 770 kilometers, it connects major cities from the Thai border to Johor, allowing goods, businesses, and people to move efficiently across the peninsula. Then there's Port Klang and the port of Tanjung Pelepas, two of Southeast Asia's busiest container ports, linking Malaysia to global shipping routes that connect Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. None of these places usually appear in travel videos, yet they are among the engines of Malaysia's economic success. And this is where things get interesting. Economic strength isn't just about exports. It's also about making everyday life work. Walk into a cafe in Kuala Lumpur, buy a coffee, order lunch, take the MRT. You'll notice something simple. Most people pay instantly using QR codes or digital wallets. Malaysia's rapid adoption of digital payments has made everyday transactions faster and more convenient, while nationwide 5G expansion is helping businesses and consumers stay connected. Now compare that with many developed countries where cash is still surprisingly common or digital systems remain fragmented. Unexpected, isn't it? Then there's affordability. A satisfying local meal often costs between RM10 and RM20. Modern public transport remains reasonably priced. Healthcare is widely respected across the region. No wonder Malaysia continues attracting international students, retirees, skilled professionals, and digital entrepreneurs looking for a high quality of life at a lower cost than many global cities. Of course, Malaysia isn't without challenges. Rising living costs, wage growth, housing affordability, and global economic uncertainty continue affecting many Malaysians. No economy grows without obstacles, but that's precisely what makes Malaysia's progress remarkable. It hasn't been built during perfect conditions. It's been built by constantly adapting. And perhaps that's Malaysia's greatest economic advantage: balance. A country where modern financial districts like TRX stand alongside traditional markets. where multinational corporations operate just minutes away from family-owned businesses, where innovation doesn't completely replace tradition. As Asia continues driving more of the world's economic growth, Malaysia may never be the loudest success story. It doesn't need to be. Because sometimes the strongest economies aren't the ones demanding attention. They're the ones quietly building resilient industries, investing in infrastructure, educating skilled workers, and creating opportunities year after year. Maybe that's why Malaysia's economy feels different. It isn't built on one industry. It isn't dependent on one idea. It's built on diversity, resilience, and a willingness to keep evolving. And perhaps that's the hidden success story the world has overlooked for far too long. What do you think is Malaysia's greatest economic strength that doesn't receive enough international attention? I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments. What makes Malaysia's economy even more remarkable isn't just how much it has grown, it's how it keeps adapting. Look at Kuala Lumpur today. Glass towers rise above historic neighborhoods. The MRT and LRT move hundreds of thousands of commuters every day. The Clia Express connects the airport to the city in under half an hour. The Exchange TRX has become a symbol of Malaysia's ambition to strengthen its position as a regional financial hub. None of this happened overnight. It represents decades of investment in infrastructure, education, and long-term planning. But wait until you hear what surprises many visitors the most. Malaysia doesn't feel like an economy built only for big corporations. It feels like an economy built for everyday life. Walk into a neighborhood mamac restaurant at 11 o'clock at night. University students are discussing assignments. Families are sharing dinner. Office workers are unwinding after a long day. The owner greets regular customers by name while orders are paid for in seconds using a QR code. It's a small moment, but it tells a much bigger story. Economic development isn't only measured by GDP. It's measured by whether ordinary people can participate in it. Ever notice that countries with the biggest economies aren't always the easiest places to live? Housing can become unaffordable. Transportation costs can be overwhelming. Simple daily expenses continue climbing. Malaysia faces inflation like every nation, but compared with many major global cities, it still offers a lifestyle that many expatriates and retirees consider excellent value. And that's one reason international companies continue investing here. Malaysia sits at the heart of Southeast Asia, placing businesses within easy reach of a regional market of more than 680 million people. Its strategic location, skilled workforce, established manufacturing ecosystem, and modern ports make it an attractive base for companies serving the wider ASEAN region. Then there's tourism. Millions of visitors arrive each year for the beaches, rainforests, food, and cultural diversity. They stay in hotels. They shop in local businesses. They eat in family-owned restaurants. Tourism doesn't just create memories, it supports jobs across the economy. And this is where the bigger picture comes into focus. Malaysia's success has never depended on a single skyscraper, a single factory, or a single industry. It comes from combining many strengths: advanced manufacturing, international trade, tourism, agriculture, energy, finance, technology, education. When one sector slows, others continue moving forward. That's resilience. Of course, the road ahead won't be easy. The global economy is changing faster than ever. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industries. Supply chains continue evolving. Competition across Asia is becoming more intense. Malaysia will need to keep investing in innovation, digital skills, clean energy, and higher value industries to remain competitive. But if history has shown anything, it's that Malaysia has repeatedly found ways to adapt. Perhaps that's the lesson the rest of the world can learn. Economic success isn't about making the loudest headlines. It's about building a country that improves year after year, even when nobody is watching. So maybe Malaysia's economy isn't really a hidden success story anymore. Maybe it's a reminder that some of the world's most impressive achievements happen quietly, through consistent progress, smart planning, and millions of people working every day to build a better future. The next time someone mentions Malaysia, don't think only of the Petronas Twin Towers or beautiful beaches. Think about the factories producing technology used around the world. Think about the ports connecting continents. Think about the entrepreneurs opening new businesses. Think about the students preparing for tomorrow's industries. Because behind every modern skyline is something far more important. A nation that continues to invest not just in buildings, but in its people. And in the long run, that may be the greatest investment any country can make. If you live in Malaysia, what do you believe is the country's biggest economic advantage? And if you're watching from another country, what surprised you most about Malaysia's economy? Share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your perspective.